The fallout continues tonight in the Flint water crisis. Residents have filed a lawsuit. The head of the city's public works department has resigned. Doctors' offices are being flooded with families concerned about lead poisoning. And elected officials and activists are placing some of the blame for the unsafe drinking water on EPA rules. And just in Washington this week, you had several people testifying in front of the EPA panel. And it was Representative Kildee who was there. Also, the doctor who sounded the alarm at the Hurley Medical Center was there, and then you also had families saying what their complaints were for the water. I feel, Stephen, that this has died down a little bit, but this is just the beginning of what is going to be a very long and expensive road for the state of Michigan.
Expensive is the right word. I mean, I think the liability or the potential liability here for both the city and the state and maybe federal officials is pretty high. And then you talk about the costs of the consequences of this. I mean, you've got all these children in Flint who've been exposed to lead in their drinking water. Who knows, how dramatic the effects will be, but everyone agrees that whatever they are, it's irreversible. So you're talking about kids who will need extra services in schools, extra health services and things. I mean, we're not close to being able to quantify the damage from this. Lots of people, I suspect, will also lose their jobs. There will probably be some change in protocols in the way that the EPA communicates with the Department of Environmental Quality here and how that department deals with local municipalities. Then there's the bigger question of infrastructure. Why do we still have lead pipes leading to people's houses? And that's not just in Flint, that's in lots of places around the state. This was sort of the tip of a very, very big, messy iceberg.
And so I guess, Nolan, a lot of people say, well, how much is it going to cost? I mean, in this class action lawsuit alone, it could cost the state and the city
we don't know.
millions
I mean,
of
you
dollars.
don't know what it's going to cost until the actual harm is identified and brought to the table, and you got to see if they win that. I'm with Steve. I think the greater cost is one we know, and that is replacing all these pipes throughout Michigan that are carrying or that have lead in them, and that could be tens of billions of dollars. Question becomes, where is that money? Where does the money come from? We couldn't raise money to fix roads, and now we've got a much bigger infrastructure problem ahead of us.
They're testifying for the EPA about changing the federal rules for lead in the water. Stephen, but some people say, maybe the EPA is also part of the problem here, or was part of the problem in the entire Flint debacle.
Well, it's clear that one of two things happened. It's either that the EPA rules were not clear enough about what you were supposed to do and not supposed to do if you were going to switch from Detroit water system to the Flint River, or DEQ misinterpreted those rules and didn't enforce it against Flint. And I'm not sure we know which of those two truths is the stronger at this point. There was clearly a breakdown in the process somewhere. It's just not, I don't know that it's EPA more than it's DEQ. But certainly it's true that everybody knew that if you were going to do this, you needed to add that chemical to the water that would stop the corrosion, and nobody did it. So.
All right, we'll keep watching that as well.